Hey there, this is Fritz Westover, viticulturist at Virtual Viticulture Academy and the host of the Vineyard Underground podcast. Today, I'm answering a question from a vineyard, maybe one just like yours. This is a question from Brent. So we're going to go ahead and answer Brent's question here. Let's just take a look at what he sent in. Okay, this is about soil samples and plant tissue tests. Brent says, attached are our soil test results from Waypoint Analytical. That's the lab they're using in Memphis, Tennessee. We received recommendations based on leaf tissue analysis, but not sure if this changes anything based on soil. So let's go ahead and look at your plant tissue data first, Brent. That's what I'm showing here on the screen. It appears that everything according to the standards for whole leaf are looking good. This is for veraison time sampling. And these are the standards that I'm using currently. The standards that I use can also be found at virtualviticultureacademy.com. Click on the Learn tab, go to Grower Guides, and you can search for plant tissue test standards, and you'll find it there. But basically, nitrogen's a little on the low end of sufficient, sulfur as well, but those are not problematic. What I see really as being deficient or low is the magnesium and the calcium. Iron's showing a little bit low, but being that you're in an area where you have acidic soils, you shouldn't see deficiency symptoms in the vines. So let's address that magnesium and calcium. Let's see exactly what's going on there. Micronutrients look okay. Boron's borderline low, and so is zinc. But let's see what the soil sample tells us as well as that tissue sample. So here are your soil samples back from the lab, and these are in the same block of Merlot that you did your plant test in. And as we can see, phosphorus, potassium are all good. Calcium is also showing on the lower end of sufficient for grapes. So this might be why we're seeing low calcium in your plant tissue. And magnesium is showing as adequate, but probably not getting taken up in the quantities that you want. I'm going to look at your pH next, which is down here. Up here at the top of the report, 5.8. And I'm going to look at your organic matter, which is 3.2. 3.2% means you're going to have, it's kind of on the low end, but you'll have adequate nitrogen release as long as you have seasonal rain. Mostly want to focus here on what things are deficient and need correction based on plant tissue tests. And as we see, the calcium is low at 1430 pounds per acre. And that's something we can add in the form of lime. Now, given that the magnesium was also low in your plant tissue test, we could easily choose dolomitic lime, which contains 10% magnesium. And that's going to add both magnesium and potassium into the soil, so to speak. So you can broadcast this and you can spread it out in your vineyard and let the winter rains work that in if you apply it here in the fall after harvest. And if you incorporate it, that's great. But once your vineyard's already in the ground, it's hard to incorporate things to any root level depth. So just by adding either 1 or 2 tons per acre, so that's 2,000 to 4,000 pounds of a dolomitic lime, we should see over time some uptake and some improvement in your plant tissue test. So I recommend looking into a dolomitic lime application. That might also improve your micronutrient uptake. It should hopefully bring your pH from 5.8 to over 6, maybe 6.2, 6.3 would be the end goal. And once we have that established, nutrient uptake will be better in general. So for grapes, we want that pH to be between 6 and 6.5 for optimal nutrient availability from the soil. So I would suggest looking into the lime application. Things should look good. Let's take another sample. I recommend taking one at bloom next year and following up at veraison. And that way we can see if the application was helpful. So let's just go ahead and exit out of there. And Brent, I hope that this answer to your question gave you some guidance on what to do next. And I hope you take action on it because I want you to see some improvements in your vineyard. So if anyone has questions, just visit vineyardundergroundpodcast.com, click on the Ask Fritz button, and I read all those questions and be glad to help you out with one of your future grape growing questions. Take care and talk to you soon.